Hi yogis, my name's Bruce. Welcome back to your 30-day yoga challenge. Today is day 15. We're now at the halfway point of this challenge, and what a great journey it's been. Thank you all for continuing to share in this practice with me. Our thought for today is growth. It can often be challenging to feel or know that we are growing when we're very involved with our day-to-day, the daily grind. And a simple yet effective way to observe our own personal growth or to know that we have progressed is to look back. So today's class, or at least at the start of the practice, I want you all to think back to day one of this challenge. Where you were, what some of the thoughts you were having, what is it that you felt within your body on day one, checking in, and what has changed since then? How have you grown? And sometimes when we are able to become aware of our own growth, this can also lead to a feeling of being content or happy. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start at the back of our mat in a standing forward fold. So with your feet around hips distance apart, you'll bend your knees as you slowly lay your chest and ribs on your thighs. You can have your hands flat on the floor. It could be the backs of your hands resting on the mat. You can also bring your forearms, let your hands hold the forearms or the elbows. And then close your eyes and take a full breath. Open the mouth. Allow your whole body to soften, at least the upper part of the body, the arms and the head. And as you start to feel a bit more of a quiet space settling, I want you to reflect back on that first day that we started practice, or really the first day that you started your challenge. And if you think back to what you felt in your body, in your heart, what the mental state was, how has that changed? What has shifted? Really, how have you grown? Are you one to deny growth? Or can you give yourself a sense of pride for how far you've come? Just knowing that I am so pleased with all the work you've been putting in your challenge. With that, let's breathe in. With your mouth open, exhale. And then let's bring the hands to the floor. Inhale towards half lift. Pull forward through the crown of your head. And then fold. Let's do that again. Peel the chest away from the knees, lengthen through the spine. Now stay here and walk your hands forward to plank. Once you've set up your high plank with your wrists under the shoulders and the arms straight, pause. Push a bit more firmly through the hands so we lift the sternum away from the floor. Maybe a slight rounding of the upper back. And just make sure that the head isn't hanging completely, but rather lengthening equally the neck and throat. Downward dog. Exhale. Reach your right leg towards the sky. Breathe in. And then right foot forward. Breathe out. Lift halfway through your chest, or rather lifting the chin, opening the throat. Step forward with your left foot and bow. Stand tall, lift your arms over your head, inhale. And then bring your hands in prayer and release your arms down. Stretch the arms over your head, inhale deep. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, lift halfway. And then step your right foot back to plank, left foot to plank, holding. Keep your elbows straight and allow the shoulder blades to squeeze almost like the chest is melting. And then push the floor away so that the shoulder blades widen, pulling the center of the heart in. Downward dog, exhale. Reach your left leg back and up, inhale. As you exhale, look forward and step between the hands. Onto the tips of the fingers, lift the chin, look up. And then step your right foot forward and take a bow. Reach into the sky, lifting the arms, inhale. Slide your hands in front of the chest and stand tall with your arms down. Lift your arms high in the air, breathe in. And go ahead, fold over your legs. Pull in through the abdomen, lay your ribs on the legs. Pull the chest away from the knees, inhale. And then exhale, step your left foot to plank and your right foot to plank. Holding here, lowering your knees to the floor and lifting the chin, look up, cow. Exhale, cat. Now go somewhere in between towards tabletop pose. Bring your knees to lift slightly from the floor. And then down dog. Exhale, press back. Lift your right leg in the air, inhale. Exhale, step forward with your right foot. Lower your back knee to the mat. And as you inhale, stretch your arms over your head. Take your arms down beside your body with your palms facing forward and press the backs of your hands towards the wall space behind. Interlock the fingers behind your back. Squeeze between the palms and do feel like the front of the shoulders pull back in space. Stretch your arms to the sides and then over your head looking up, inhale. Lower your hands down, lift your back knee and step forward with your left foot. Fold deep over the legs. Stand tall, lift your arms, breathe in. As you exhale, bend your legs and keep your arms lifting in the sky. Chair pose. Fold over your legs. Look forward as you breathe in. Step your right foot back, left foot to plank. Inhale, come forward more. And then bend your elbows lower all the way to the floor. Cobra, opening the chest. So feel here that the heart is lifting and additionally pushing forward. Down dog as you exhale. Left leg reaching in the air, breathe in. Look forward as you step between the hands. Right knee lowers softly. Lift both of your arms. Inhale. Exhale, lower your arms down beside your body. And let's take our palms this time to face each other while the arms draw back. And imagine that you have a large cushion, maybe a yoga block if you had one available, and then squeeze into the imaginary space. So don't let the palms touch, rather that they stay apart and hug in. Then interlock the fingers. Allow the front of the shoulders again to pull back, collarbones wider, big smile across the chest. And then release your hands to the sides and then over your head looking up. And then lowering your hands to the floor, right knee lifts as we step forward with the foot. And then fold. Come all the way to standing. Lift your arms high. Pull in through the sides of the waist, lift even more. Keep your arms reaching as you bend your legs. Chair. Feel that hugging in of the waist so the low ribs lift higher. And then do fold. Exhale. Look straight ahead. Inhale. Left foot to plank, and then right foot to plank. Come forward with your whole body, and then bend your elbows, hold where you are. Wherever that is, can you take pause? Lie down on your mat, cobra. Inhale, pull the tips of the elbows back, lift through the top of the head, and then down dog. Let your right leg reach into the air. That's an inhale. Look to the front of your mat and step forward. Lower your left knee to the floor. Lift your arms over your head. And then bend your left elbow so the hand sits behind your upper back. And with your right hand holding the elbow, gently pull towards the midline. Gently press down. And then as an option, you can take your right hand down and up, perhaps connecting the fingers in Gomukhasana or cow face arms. And if you're unable to hook the hands completely, you can hold onto the cloth of the shirt. You can also reach for a strap if there's one nearby. Now press down into your front foot, lift your back knee while folding slightly forward. And then with your next exhalation, can you gently turn the chest to the right while continuing to squeeze your right hip in and perhaps bending a bit deeper your leg. Untwist, lift your heart, and then release gently the fingers as your arms stretch high in the air. Left foot to chair pose. Sit lower, and then rise to standing, look up, and then bring your right thigh into the chest, fingers laced on the shin bone, pull up, and squeeze in. Now keep your right thigh lifting tightly into the belly, release your arms and lift them high. Can you in fact bring your right thigh up even more? And then right foot meets your mat, chair pose. Fold over your legs, exhale. Now look forward, breathe in, and then set both of your hands flat on the floor. Some of you may need to step the feet back slightly so that you have space to lift the heels without lifting the hands. So if you look at the wrists, they're rooting down. As you lift the heels, there's going to be some of you who bend the knees, which is fine. Whether your knees are bent or straight, press forward through the front of the thighs and push deeper through your palms. Lift the chin and step to plank. Lowering to the floor or stopping halfway. Cobra or upward dog, focusing on the chest space as wide. If your elbows are straight, the thigh bones lift. And then downward dog, exhale completely. Let's stay there, breathe in and push back. Left leg high in the air, inhale. Look to the hands and step forward, be soft in the step. Right knee meets the floor, lift both of your arms. Bend your right elbow so the hand sits behind your upper back. Hold onto the elbow and gently pull it to the left and press it down. I should have said the first side that you can keep your hand here as an option. The second would be to reach down, bend your elbow, and reach up to hook the fingers. Again, if that's not available, you hold onto the cloth of your shirt or reach for the strap if it's nearby. Find a bit more lengthening of the tailbone down and perhaps a light pressing of your head into forearm. Straighten the back leg and fold about halfway forward. Your outer left hip, can you press it to the midline and then lengthen through the spine, top of right elbow, forward. Exhale, gently turn the chest to the left. Maintain the charge of your right thigh. Don't know why I whispered there, excuse me. Untwist slow. And you're gonna bring your spine to vertical, releasing the hands and stretching them high into the air. And then right foot comes forward. Utkatasana, that is chair pose, sit lower. Rise to standing. Left knee into the belly, hands to the shin. Pull up and squeeze in. So use your arm strength to really press the front of thigh, against the stomach, almost towards the chest. And then when you let go of your hands, try not to let that left leg move. Yes. Left foot to the floor, bend your knees, chair, and then folding forward exhale. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, set your hands flat. Again, step the feet back. For some of us, we need to step back quite a bit in order to lift the heels with the hands flat. But I do want you to feel that the front of your thighs is fairly close to the stomach, and keep the heels drawing up. Take the buttocks higher. Lift the chin. Step your left foot to plank, right foot to plank, and then as you exhale, bend your arms, lower your body with control. Go back to straight arms, plank, and then down dog, exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out, separate the feet, mat width. Begin walking your wrists to the toes. And once you're at the very back, fold. Spin or turn the heels in so the feet are angled. And then begin to slowly bend your knees. And there's going to be some of you whose heels will lift, but can you just find that point when they have to lift? And then bring your hands together in prayer position. Now, for those of you who do have the heels lifted, what you can do is roll the back part of the mat, place it underneath the heels. If you have some sort of object nearby that is firm and you want to slide it under the feet as well, go for it. Arms for the moment on the inside of the legs, palms together, lengthen up through the top of your head. Now, initially, we're going to squeeze our legs against the arms. So feel the inner thighs pressing tightly against the outer arms and drawing up through the crown of the head. Do that for another exhalation. And then in opposition, think of peeling the thighs off of the arms. They may not physically leave the arms, but think of outer knees pressing to the sides of the room. Now let's place our hands down on the floor. You want the wrists to be flat, so some of you might need to bring them forward a little bit more. Now from this position, listen carefully. You're going to lift the heels unless they're already lifting. Then start to take your buttocks higher and then walk the hands closer to you and feel like the upper arms are along the insides of the knees. Stay here and just feel how there's a contracting or an engagement of the front belly, a bit in the front of the hips, and then lean forward. If you look at your elbows, think of them stacking the wrists and then lift one foot, point the toes, squeeze the heel to the bum. Lower that foot down, other foot lifts, point the toes, lift the heel to the bum, and then bring that foot down, release, come back to the squat, take an exhale breath, breathe in, and breathe out. All right, now we're gonna place our hands flat on the mat. We're gonna do that again. And for those of you who are able, you will lift both of the feet up. You lift the bum, come onto the balls of the feet, and really make sure your hands are flat here. Elbows stay slightly bent. Look at them and move them forward so your forearms are almost perpendicular to the floor, and use the push of your hands. Push the floor away from the hands, shoulder blades wide, heels tighter towards your buttocks. Lowering very slowly to your mat, sitting and lifting the chest. Wherever you are, release it, exhale. Use your hands on the mat as a way to brace yourselves. Come to child's pose. And then take your hands towards the knees, sit up tall, and then sit with your knees together in Vajrasana, hero pose. We're going to interlock the fingers behind the back, take our fists to the right side of our belly. Imagine your knuckles somewhat in line with your belly button. Squeeze the inner elbows together, breathe in, and then exhale, lower your right ear towards the right shoulder. Keep hugging the forearms together. If any of you are familiar with the Thigh Master Think of closing or squeezing into that thigh master. Come to center with your head. Release, straighten the elbows, and move your fists to the left of your waist, almost in line with the belly button. Lift through the crown of the head, and then left ear towards your left shoulder. Lifting through the head, straightening the elbows, and just reach back, open the chest, and then release. Placing your hands on your thighs as you sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes and take stock. What has your growth been through this practice alone, from where you started to now? And recall your first day, the first day of your challenge. What was your intention? How does that intention sit with you now? And what is the growth? What is your growth? Only you can know. Thank you all for joining me once again on this journey. It is an honor to be a part of it. See you tomorrow. Namaste.